I met a buddy that does legacy films, and he was able to pour into me. He didn't see me as competition. He said, let me show you, let me help you with this. That right there was a trigger for me. Like, I am in the right spot and I feel comfortable enough to share this crazy cuckoo idea that I have. And to hear other people say, Matt, that is a good idea. Matt, you should run with that. I believe you just said it a minute ago. I feel like I had a fear of success. I don't even know what that is. Yeah. But like, I felt like, no, if I do this, I'm not prepared. You've even said to me like, Matt, don't do a rebrand, don't do a different website, just call some people and show them what you've shown me and let them watch.
As you've thought about, I should launch a YouTube channel, or I should do legacy films, or I should get into corporate. Don't overthink it, just do it. What a great phrase. Just do the thing and grow into it.
Getting feedback from past clients is also a great way to get more referrals. Hey guys, I'm launching this new website. Hey, I need some feedback on this new demo reel that I'm launching. Hey, could you answer these 3 questions for me? It gets you top of mind again. And so I've actually gotten some extra side work just from having these conversations with people. Oh yeah, by the way, Matt, we need to do this video. I've been putting it off. We need some testimonial videos. That right there has been great too. Just having conversations with people.
In this special reunion episode, I am joined by Matt Davis, my former co-host of this show and founder of Harvest Filmworks and Life Stage Films. In this episode, you'll learn why being authentic in your business creates deeper connections with clients, how overcoming personal demons can unlock new creative potential, and the critical importance of community and accountability in growing your business. Plus, Matt shares the surprising strategy that finally helped him launch his legacy film business after years of hesitation. There's lots of good stuff in this one. I'm super excited. Also, you get to hear hilarious, not really embarrassing for me, maybe more for Matt. Lots of goodness here. So glad you're here. Let's go. What is up, my friend? Welcome to the Grow Your Video Business Show. I'm your host, Ryan Coral. I'm so excited that you get to join me on this episode. It has been a long time since I've had Matt Davis on the show. He used to run the show. I mean, this dream of Studio Sherpas and all the things that I get to do in this work, we launched this thing together. And anyway, we through a series of all the things, we got to sit down and catch up. Actually, we didn't catch up. We are in each other's lives and businesses on the regular. He's a member of our mastermind, and so I see him often. But we got to be in the space for you and share some of the things that he's been learning, things that I'm learning, and I'm just excited for you to, especially if you don't know Matt. He's awesome, hilarious, and he also has a special ability. If you say a movie, he can say the year that the movie came out, sort of like Rain Man. So pretty cool. There's other cool things about him, but that's one that stands out. If you are brand new here and you're just kind of being introduced to the world of Grow Your Video Business and 10X Filmmaker and Studio Sherpas and all the things that I get the opportunity to do alongside of running my own video production business for the last 20 years, I want to invite you to check out our mastermind. So if you're running a business and you feel like you've got a lot of questions, you feel like you're doing this business alone, you feel like maybe there would be more fulfillment in this work, but you don't have anybody to share it with, and you don't have anybody guiding you to what you need to be doing next in your business, then boy, do I have something for you. I have the unique pleasure of running a mastermind, and currently we have about a dozen members in our mastermind, all filmmakers, and we meet twice a month and on a virtual call like this, not really, like sort of I look like this on the calls. And we highlight a couple of students each time that we meet, and those people have 20 minutes or so to share an issue, a struggle, something that they want to launch, something that they're trying, and they open up to the group for questions and input, advice, ideas, and it has been one of the best things that I've ever gotten to be a part of is facilitating these groups. if this sounds interesting to you and you want to know more information, you can get all of the information about the Studio Sherpas Mastermind by going to studiosherpas.com/mastermind. And right now, I think when this episode comes out, we are still doing interviews because we're launching a short run mastermind that's going to go from, I think it's June until the end of November of this year. Everybody who's in the mastermind currently started in January. We kicked the year off with a retreat in Florida, and they will go until the end of November. And then this is going to be a separate group that meets on the same day, and we are we're going to meet from the middle of this year until toward the end of this year as well. And then people have the opportunity at the end of the year, if they want to re-up and join the following year, then they have that chance and opportunity to be able to do that. So it's amazing. Check it out, studiosherpas.com/mastermind, and get all the details. And if you're interested, you can apply there, and then we'll get back to you and set up an interview if it seems like it might be a good fit. So with that, let's get into this episode with Mr. Matt Davis. What's up, my friend? Hey, welcome to another episode of the Grow Your Video Business podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Coral, and today with me is my former co-host of the show, Mr. Matt Davis, who is the CEO, president, founder of, and lead video storyteller at Harvest Filmworks and Life Stage Films. Formerly known as the artist known as Prince, or the co-founder of Studio Sherpas, my ex-friend, just kidding. Matt Davis in the house on the podcast again. Welcome back, Matt. That's hard to say 3 times fast, or 1 time. I'm so happy. We're all so happy that you're here.
You better be. You can't get rid of me, man. You cannot get rid of me. I'm glad to be here, man. I'm always happy to get on and chat with you. We never skip a beat, dude. Love it.
Never skip a beat. One of my favorite interactions was when you came to the Onward Summit last year, and to just, we spent all this time and energy building Studio Sherpas in its early days, and then we weren't doing an in-person thing. Everything that you and I were doing was all virtual. And the way that I'm wired, I'm like, I've got to, where's In Focus? Where's Reframe? Where's Viva? So we created our own little version of that. And to have you come to that event, that was so fun. For people who have been following along since the beginning, for them to be able to give you a hug and just say like, dude, thank you. That was pretty special.
Well, it was really even more special that you were very intentional with trying to get me there. Like, you would not, in a nice way, you wouldn't leave me alone. And for to be very honest, like I was on the line of not going because I had these ideas like, oh, I'm too busy for that, or I got to pay for this and that. And so coming as a student, I was coming like, oh my gosh, like I'm excited to learn from other people, but also the kicker was the community. I was like, man, I do need to be around other people right now. I'm kind of in a funk. I'm in this isolation period right now where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with other people. And it was really the best decision because now, fast forward, I'm now friends with most of those people, and I'm in a mastermind group, and I'm being held accountable. And it's all because you wouldn't leave me alone. And you got me there. Love it.
We really needed to increase our registrants. So I did the same for everybody. Just kidding. Just a total aside here. I stuck my hand in what I think is butter. I'm in my office. My wife just made some amazing sourdough, and I scarfed a piece down before we hit record here. And I went to scoop my chair a little bit, and there is, it's got to be butter. There's no other.
I don't know how to respond. I don't know what to say. I wish we had a crotch cam so we can see exactly what you're talking about.
I cleaned it up. I just scraped it off. We're good. So it's just sitting. If anybody wants, there's a little bit of butter in case you have need for it. I can help you out. Anyway, one of the things that I have appreciated about you, honestly, from the very beginning, but I would say more recently, we really reconnected, I think, like during COVID. Shortly thereafter, we had some pretty deep conversations on life stuff, and then having you on the show in 2021, that was great. But your humility, your always knowing that there's somebody that you can learn from, and always something else to learn, and the hunger that you have for that. I think that's probably why we have such a it was easy for us to become friends, because we have a very similar mindset of wanting to grow, knowing that there's always something to learn. And so to even when we presented the idea of like, hey, I'd love to have you in the mastermind, but like in my mind, I'm like, he's not going to join them. Like he could be leading a mastermind if he wants. So to have you in the mastermind, like even that, I'm like, man, that was such a gift to think, somebody who, early on when we met, I looked at your business, your wedding filmmaking business, and I'm like, man, like he's got all these systems and processes and all these things that I want for my business. And so I held you up at this, at this level. And then when we're filming that wedding in West Virginia or wherever the heck we were, and we're leaving, and I'm like, hey, or you said, hey, I'm thinking about starting the coaching thing back up. And I was like, do you think I could do that with you? And you're just like, are you serious? And I was like, I'm serious. My own imposter syndrome of feeling like Matt's on a different level. He's not going to. So to fast forward all these years and to have you in the mastermind is like, it's such a gift. And all of that to say, I appreciate a lot of different aspects of who you are, but your humility and your hunger to grow, I think, is one of those things that is inspiring for me.
I appreciate it, man. It's funny. If I'm looking back, I don't think I had a lot of humility back then. I think that there was a period of time where you're talking about where things were ramping up very, very quickly, and I had kind of an ego, and I hope that I had a little bit of humility. I trust what you're saying, but at the same time, I had an ego problem, and I think it got the best of me as those years kept going. I thought, oh, I've got this all figured out.
Yeah.
Maybe let me teach other people how to do it, because I think I've got this thing figured out. And truth is, I don't. I never did. But there's always something you can teach other people. But I feel like the script has flipped, and I'm in this mastermind group. I'm part of Sherpas now because I'm soaking everything up. And mainly because there was a period of my life and a season of my life where I had blinders on. Like I couldn't see anything else. I couldn't focus on anything else, on what anyone else was doing or how to grow, because I was trying to survive, and that ego got the best of me very, very quickly. But I'm glad I'm here talking to you now.
If you rewatch this, you'll see when I was about to say like, yeah, when I first met you, I was talking about like your humility, and then I like changed that. I'm like, no, I don't think he was humble when I first met him there. But in that, I think I was probably very similar. But it's like the older you get, the more times you fail, the more you learn what you don't know. So I don't know if it's the majority of older people that we know in our lives. They're typically less judgmental and more patient and more understanding, because they've got a way more life experience their own, and then their friends and all of the things. So it's like, oh yeah, I can see as we grow older, hopefully we become more humble, because we know that we don't have it all figured out. But there was a turning point for you, definitely, where humility, you really started to embrace that, like the real kind, not the fake kind.
Yeah, and it's all about who you rub shoulders with too. Like the fact that you and I came up together and decided to hang out and meet at a big function for the industry. We both have been, we're cut from the same cloth, in that I feed off of other people's energy. I feed off of what they're doing and what they're doing well. And I'm like, I want to be like that. I do want to be like that. And I feel like that's how I gravitated towards you, because you were doing things already. This doesn't need to be a tit for tat, like puffing each other up. But at the same time, like I'm very grateful for the shoulders that I do rub against. And that means right now, like that means going to Onward. That means hanging out in the mastermind group, because I do not have it all figured out. And I'm just grateful that I get to soak things up again and have the mindset to do that.
Yeah, love that. Rubbing shoulders, I think that's important. Kissing shoulders, that's another thing.
Dude, what a segue. What an amazing segue.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Awesome.
Matt, that was a good one. If you don't know our history, there is a story there. If you do know, that was just a little gift for everyone that knows Ryan and Matt from way back in the day.
Shoulder kiss, man. That's how I sign off.
We'll just say,
yeah.
I got attacked by Matt in the middle of the night.
I thought you were my wife, man. I thought you were my wife. I'm glad I didn't go too far.
People, yeah. Well, the quickest version of the story, we were scoping out event spaces for an event that we wanted to host for filmmakers. We ended up having to share a hotel room, which wasn't a big deal, but they were out of rooms that had doubles or 2 beds. So we shared a queen bed, which wasn't a big deal. Whatever. We're both happily married men. I think we both sleep with our shirts off, and in the middle, it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and Matt's kind of stirring. I'm kind of like waking up. I'm like, what's going on? And he leaps over me. Instead of just hopping out of bed on his side, he leaps over me. I'm sorry. He leaps over me, and as he's leaping over me to jump out of the bed, his lips brush my shoulder, and he gives me a kiss. And I'm like,
this version of the story is amazing.
I'm laying there, and I'm just like, we're in like Tennessee. It's the middle of the night. I laying there like, what? Wait, what? And I look and I see Matt just standing at the end of the bed facing away from me. And I can tell he is contemplating his life choices in that moment. And I think I said something. I think I said,
you said weird. You just said weird. Wide, crystal clear awake.
Yeah.
And I thought the reason I was standing there, I was like, please, dear Lord, let him be asleep. Let him not know this ever happened. And as I'm standing there, you go, weird.
So needless to say, the next morning of travel was so awkward, and we didn't talk to each other. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. So
we core memory, man. That's a good story. That's a great story.
That is a good story. It's really good. So it's all about who you're rubbing shoulders with at the end of the day.
There you go.
And or kissing shoulders. I want to talk about some substance for all of our video business owners that, listen to the show for that kind of stuff, and not this little
inside jokes. They're not inside jokes anymore.
So when you start a video, you're doing life stage films, filming weddings. I mean, you've filmed so many weddings. You've traveled all over destinations. You've created amazing work. Also, your commercials that promote your wedding stuff over the years have been so fun. Then you launched Harvest Filmworks, your corporate brand. And over the past, 2-3 months, probably since the retreat that we had for the mastermind, you started talking about legacy films and how you're like, man, I know this was years ago when we were both filming weddings. This was also something that we've talked about, like, man, it's so amazing to be able to capture these kinds of stories. So talk about the place where you're at in your business as you're launching this new thing. Like, what inspired this, and what's your hope for it?
Yeah, this is a crazy story. This is it's validation for me, affirmation. I don't know the best word to use, but being asked this question, my idea, this spark for legacy films started right when I started my business. When I called my business it was at the time Life Stage Productions or Life Stage Videography or something along those lines. And my tagline, if I were to have that cheesy business card in front of you, was like, you're a videographer for all of life's needs, or you're specializing in all, something lame. And I thought, I want to tell people's, I had already recorded my grandparents. This is in 2005. So in a personal handy cam, I had recorded my grandparents and got me interviewing them about their life. Going back, the questions were the wrong questions to ask. And that's what's so great about what I'm doing now. But I had it on camera. I had it on tape. And I never really did anything with it, because once I started my work, when I wanted to shake people's hand and tell people what I did for a living, I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm a wedding videographer, because most wedding videos sucked. You know, they were cheesy, they're boring, terrible. So I decided to go a route with weddings that just kind of took off. And you and I both kind of felt that. You know, we did different types of wedding videos at the time, and that was great. And I kind of put legacy films on the side. Now, with that said, I'd had conversations with people all throughout the years, because it never left me. I love conversational stories, sitting across a fire, like a fire pit to me, like a fireside chat with a group of dudes that I love, a group of family members that I love, someone important. I mean, a fire is everything to me. And so I'm always like, man, what kind of conversations can I create? And I'm that guy that, you know me well, Ryan. I'm like, okay, would you rather, you know, I'm always asking questions like, what movie was this? When did this, you know, I'm very inquisitive. What better way to translate that? At the time, I moved that to corporate storytelling. So I'd been doing weddings, and then I switched to corporate telling, video production. And so Harvest for me was my way of pivoting, not stopping weddings, but applying it, just like you've done with Tell. Oh my gosh. Same premise, right? It's how can we tell stories that are meaningful and engaging and authentic for companies? So I've been doing that for 10 years. And then this itch inside of me never went away. Like this pulling on my heart was like a conviction of, you need to do these legacy stories. But for me, my life took a trajectory that was self-inflicted wound kind of thing. But I struggled with addiction and just not allowing alcohol to run my life. And it did. Like, it started creeping into every aspect of my life, and that included my business. And so for a long time, a years long drought of me just trying to do the status quo, and, you know, knowing what I know how to do, but just kind of doing that and just staying in that lane. I never grew. And this is weird for me to say to you, Ryan, because it was during, like, I'm supposed to be on helping you with Sherpas, and like, I'm sitting there behind the scenes, afraid to tell, afraid to speak out of like what I'm really struggling with, because I had to stay on top. I'm co-founder of Studio Sherpas. And so I was like slowly dying inside, because number one, I wasn't telling anybody what I was struggling with, but then my work was stagnant. And I struggled with that until I couldn't struggle with that anymore. Enough was enough kind of thing. And so for me, the last couple, just even months, but the last couple years, 1 or 2 years, this legacy film thing has blown up inside me to the point where we're launching. And I've done about 8 or 10 of these things. Like, I know how to do them. I know what I want to do, but I learned a long time ago how not to do them. And I learned through corporate video work how to interview people, how not to interview people, so that it's more conversational and not just asking people questions. That was a lot,
good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot in that. One of the things that is so interesting, when you first brought this up to the group, there was some guidance, there were some opinions and thoughts, and then you and I kind of talking offline about it. This is something that I think is so relatable for so many people, where we have an idea, maybe we start whispering it to some people to get, you know, like, do they think this is a good? Okay. Oh yeah. They like, okay, cool. Let me take the next step. But if you're anything like me, and apparently if you're anything like Matt, we tend to overthink. Yeah. We tend to overcomplicate, and all of that leads to not doing the thing, or something that could have been done forever ago. Yeah. But because of those things that have gotten in the way. And part of that, I don't know if there's like this fear of success or this fear of failure, or what the underlying thing is for me. I'm not exactly sure. But as you were overthinking, we're like, Matt, you've got 1,000, literally 1,000 people that you could reach out to, who you've already captured the most important day of their life or their child's life or whatever. That, just start there. Share a little bit about what like those roadblocks look like, or whatever, so that we can all feel like, oh yeah, I've been in that same spot.
If I didn't go to Summit, the Onward Summit, and sit. There's a picture that I love of you and I. There's a table that we're sitting at where I'm in front. I raised my hand to sit in front of everyone and kind of spill the guts of this idea. It doesn't matter what everyone's faith is out there. For me, faith is very important to me. And there were a few people in attendance at this thing, not only that were speaking, but also in attendance as there to learn, but also meeting people that do this. Like I met a buddy that does legacy films, and he was able to pour into me in a way that's not, he didn't see me as competition. He said, let me show you, let me help you with this. That right there was a trigger for me. Like I am in the right spot and I feel comfortable enough to share this crazy cuckoo idea that I have. And to hear other people say, Matt, that is a good idea. Matt, you should run with that. I believe you just said it a minute ago. I feel like I had a fear of success. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
But like, I felt like, no. If I do this, I'm not prepared. Like what if I do this and I'm not prepared for when they come and want to book me? I don't even know my process yet. Being the process guy and the systems guy that I am, you've even said to me like, Matt, don't do a rebrand. Don't do a different website. Just stop, man. Just call some people and show them what you've shown me and let them watch. And that's what I've done the last month or two. All these past families have said, what a good idea. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about this. And the cool thing about it, Ryan, is you and I started in weddings, and that's a huge chapter of it's a big chapter, an important chapter of someone's life. I don't think it's the most important chapter. The next chapter is parenthood. I believe I'm here on earth to being a dad is my purpose. Being the best dad I can be is my purpose. Everything else kind of is secondary. It all flows from my purpose in life to raising children right. My two daughters are my world to me, but how am I supposed to do that if I'm not doing what I love, doing what I'm passionate about, and also serving people and making an impact? All these are things that are the reason that I'm not happy working in a cubicle. You and I have never been happy, like working for someone else or doing something that doesn't make a difference. And so, man, it lit a fire under me with Onward because I felt like I was going to finally make a difference, but I was scared to death of the success. And it has to be perfect. The launch has to be perfect, this and that. Yeah. And it's just not true. And that's where we're at right now. And as we're chatting, I've chatted with about 100. I have filmed over 1,000 events over the years from 2006 until now, until I'm still loving to film weddings. I'm just not doing them as much because I want to make room in my schedule for this impactful thing, for this next chapter of my career. And I feel like I've been equipped to do it because of my background with weddings, because of the people that I rub shoulders with, and because of what I learned in corporate video. I just feel like families deserve to have, it's almost like an ESPN 30 for 30 documentary for families. And there's questions out there that have never been asked of people, that people, as I've done these legacy films, at the end of them, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you for asking this. Thank you for talking to me about this. I didn't even realize this story was in there somewhere. And it's so beautiful to be part of that. And you're telling me that I get to do this for a living? I get to sit across the table and learn from someone that's done life longer than I have, that's learned hard lessons more than I have? Yeah, sign me up.
It's so good. Yeah, I resonate deeply with that work. When I look at all the work, there have been elements of all that in all of the stuff. We get into corporate, and that's like, how do we bring this into the world of corporate? Because we've got 2 kids. I don't want to keep working on Saturdays. I want to get my life back in that regard. And I'll say there have been plenty of jobs in this space that have been very meaningful, and the stories have been very beautiful. But there have been a lot where it's just like, this company just needs a video to promote this product or service, and it doesn't mean anything to me. Right. And that's right. Okay. But when you get those opportunities, when I get those opportunities to dig deep and to ask those questions and to hear the sage advice that somebody else has because of their life experience, it's like, that's the ticket, man. That's the good stuff.
Let me dig deeper into that too. I didn't feel like I was being my authentic self for years because of the struggle that I was, having behind the scenes, below the surface, however you want to call it, I really didn't feel like I was being authentic, and I wasn't. I really wasn't being authentic. And who am I to go out there and try to make these authentic films for businesses? I did good. Of course, I'm happy with my work that I did, but in my gut, I know my potential is being limited here. What am I doing wrong here? What's holding me back? And the fact that I'm able to finally I'm going on 2 years sober now. I'm not going on. I am 2 years sober. I've just celebrated my sober birthday. And for me, like the fact that I'm like finally wide open and free to be me and not to be afraid of that anymore has allowed me to go into this new venture with the authenticity that it truly needs. Like I can't do it without that. If I had tried to have this conversation and do this 8 or 10 years ago, it would have fallen flat because I wasn't being authentic. And I was maybe just trying to make an extra paycheck or trying to diversify or separate, different, not only having all my eggs in one basket. No, like this is something that I've been designed to do. And the last 20 years of my career have put me on this position, this trajectory, to make this stuff happen for families. And I couldn't have done it without being coached and being encouraged and being challenged, really, with the Onward Summit, with the Sherpas Mastermind Group. And this is not a plug for that, but if I didn't have to show up every couple weeks and tell people what I'm up to and tell people my successes, my struggles, I would still be on that lonely island over there, kind of listening to the voices in my own head and doubting. And none of this would be happening. So very grateful for the community that I've been able to be part of.
Yeah. Dude, congrats on 2 years sober. That's huge. It's amazing. We were talking before we hit record. You were on the show in 2021 and you were overcoming a lot of past demons and were sober at that time, but relapsed. And to think that, man, you've made it 2 years. This is like this is your life. This is good.
Well, for me, and maybe someone out there listening that needs to hear this, alcohol's not bad. I'm not here to preach like it's a sin and you shouldn't do it. But for me, I know firsthand it's not for me. It is bad. And the thing that I've also learned that it limited me. My potential was like down here when I learned that I could finally be sober and do it the right way and still live life to the fullest. I was always afraid that if I cut alcohol out of my life, life would suck. I wouldn't be able to hang out with people. I wouldn't be able to go to conventions on these networking functions and go to a Super Bowl party. And it's just not true. Having multiple years and multiple holidays and multiple gatherings of people, Ryan, we're making old fashions in your kitchen and I'm grateful for life just to be alive. That's how grateful I am. That's where my rock bottom was. But for me, like knowing that for me, when you chatted with me last, let me put a bow on this section here. When you chatted with me in 2021, I had it in my head, as a business owner, I've got to get things done. If it's going to get done right, I got to do it myself. Same with parenting. Same with being a friend, or if someone called me, maybe my solution was to be a solution, figure out the problem instead of just listening. But my point is here. I always thought that if I got to 3 or 6 months, I can handle this alcohol thing. So you were chatting with me at a time where I thought that I had it all together. And I realized that for me, the Limitless pill for me, you guys remember the movie Limitless. I love that movie. I haven't watched the show. I heard it's not great, but the movie's great. And I feel like I take the Limitless pill every day with my sobriety. I feel like my head is clear. My ideas are coming forth in a way that I didn't even think that could happen 10 years ago or 5 years ago. But COVID really messed me up, man. Like it threw me for a loop, and I'm just grateful that I'm sitting here with you today to chat about it.
Thanks for sharing that. I will say, I guess the question is, I made you a non-alcoholic old-fashioned.
Yeah, it was great
during the Onward Summit, and okay, yeah.
I love being around the social. The social aspect of hanging out with the community is even better for me now. And if you wanted me to buy you a drink, I'll buy you a shot. I'll buy you a beer. That's not a problem for me. I'm just grateful to be fully present now, and I don't think I could have said that a couple of years ago. And so that's permeating into other aspects of my life. And that means that's permeating into this new drive to do legacy films, to help other families tell their story. And I'm grateful that I have the clarity and the compassion, the empathy, all those emotions are there now. Whereas a couple years ago, I was just fighting to survive. And there's no way I could have been doing this.
When you're thinking about the legacy film stuff, and I know there's been a lot of ideas. Clinton has been amazingly helpful for you, and I know inspiring, and he's doing this similar work. Which is so funny, as even as you were talking about at the Onward Summit when he was sharing with you, all I was thinking was like, dude, we met at the Wedding and Event Videographer Association, their flagship event, which I don't know, it probably had 1,500 people there, all doing like weddings and events. We were all sharing ideas. We were hearing from people from stage. So it's just interesting because that's essentially like you had like the miniest, most niche down conversation with somebody who could be seen as competition. But there's a reason why I do this show. There's a reason why we started this work years ago, because we believe in abundance. And it's like there's so many businesses out there that need video. There are so many couples out there that need wedding films. There's not enough video companies that are doing it really well that can set themselves apart. I mean, I guess there's plenty out there that whatever, but competition doesn't need to be a thing unless you really want it to be a thing. Right. There's enough work and enough opportunity that you're probably not doing enough if you're feeling this scarcity. They're not in the right market. You don't have the right offer. You're not charging. You're not believing that what you do is valuable enough, or you just don't have enough experience. Could be multiple of those things, but I just love that you guys had that experience of like, no, this is like, let's help each other, because as we do this, it will probably help both of us.
It takes a heart like Clinton's. I would say, argue it takes a heart like mine to be able to do legacy films, because you have to be inquisitive. You have to care about other people's hearts and experiences and struggles. And if you're so consumed with yourself, it's really hard to do this, to dive deep into someone else's life. And it's a whole new world for me, man. And it's rewarding, and it keeps me sober. It keeps me on fire for what I know that I'm supposed to be doing. Whereas I used to be isolated. I used to not listen to other people because I was trying to scrape to get back up to the surface. If that's a weird way to explain it, but I was drowning, and now I'm not. And you better watch out, because I felt like this legacy film could have happened years ago, and I just. There's almost like a little guilt there. Like I stifled this. This could have been going on a long time ago.
For the person who is thinking they've got their own thing, it might not be legacy films. Maybe they want to go from their corporate job to full-time video production. Maybe they want to launch, I don't know. Maybe they want to get into their wedding filmmaker. They want to get into corporate filmmaking. The thing or things that you had to or have had to overcome in the whatever that was holding you back, and you alluded to, I think a couple of major things, but are there any specifics that you're like, man, it was helpful, and it has been helpful to get me to where I'm not. We talked maybe a month and a half ago, and you hadn't reached out to anybody yet. You were still overthinking, like, this website, and I could do this, all these different things. And everybody was just like, dude, just start reaching out now, build it as you go. Don't wait. What advice would you have based on your own experience of how you got to this place where you're finally reaching out and telling people, hey, I'm doing this thing?
Good question, man.
Thank you. I like to be inquisitive.
Yeah.
Just kind of rub shoulders and stuff.
There's probably a lot of people that edit their films, they edit their own videos listening to this too. And a lot of us struggle with making this thing perfect. It's got to be perfect. Yeah. The client's going to see this. And for me, I learned a long time ago, especially learning in the last month or two, that sometimes good enough is okay. It's okay to not have a perfect product yet. But what I've also learned, when you guys asked me to reach out, you're like, why don't you? You're telling me, Matt, you've done over 1,000 events and weddings for families, and you're afraid to pick up the phone and call people and tell them what you're up to. I made a list, and I say this in the nicest way. I have like a VIP family list of family, like 25 to 50 families, like 43 actually, that I've just come to mind over the top of the years that I've been in business that would have wanted to adopt me kind of, they keep up with me on Facebook. They ask me about my kids, you know what I mean? Like and I've been able to call them in a position of humility and sponge-like attitude of, hey, I'm launching this. What do you think about this? Just getting feedback, giving surveys to people and saying, if I launch this, would this be worth it? That right there, just asking for feedback from past clients has been huge for me to learn what this should be and what it shouldn't be. If I had the ego of, oh, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to make this thing and everyone's going to come flock to it and I'm going to be rich. That's the worst attitude to have for this, because I didn't have a pulse really on what I was doing with this. So reaching out to those past clients, they already trust me, already friends with me, was a godsend. I learned that. So whatever business you do, get feedback from past clients. Getting feedback from past clients, sidebar here, is also a great way to get more referrals. Hey guys, I'm launching this new website. Hey, I need some feedback on this new demo reel that I'm launching. Hey, could you answer these 3 questions for me? It gets you top of mind again. And so I've actually gotten some extra side work just from having these conversations with people. Oh yeah, by the way, Matt, because I still do corporate video. Like, oh yeah, we need to do this video. I've been putting it off. We need some testimonial videos. That right there has been great too. Just having conversations with people.
One of the best email subject lines is quick question. And to send that to past clients, get top of mind and let them know, hey, I respect your, you have great taste because they hired you before. I would love for your input on, what about this? What do you think about this new idea? Quick question has a huge open rate. So next email I send to you, will probably have the subject line, quick question. But I love that little tidbit there, Matt, that I think that's so good. Even as you're just exploring the ideas, as you were sharing, in my mind, we want our films to be epic. We want them to be amazing. So we work so hard to do that. And then if you're anything like me, that translates into all the other parts of our business. So we want our websites to look amazing. We want any front face, any marketing that we're doing, anything, any social post. What that has done for me has slowed me way down. There's so many things that I haven't done in my business because I didn't have time to make it perfect. But I'm reminded of my very first website for my business. It was the slideshowvideocompany.com. And it was this bright yellow, just really gross. I worked super hard on it, but a year later, I looked back and like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. 20 years later, I look back, I'm like, that is amazing. It's so bad. But we all have to start somewhere. The most important thing that I did was that I started. I launched that thing. I didn't wait too long. I didn't try to perfect it. I got it out there. And then lo and behold, as I got more clients and I got more experience, I got more understanding, 3 years later, I have this epic, wasn't Shoot Q. What was the, they made websites.
Blue, oh man, was it Blue something?
Yeah, Blue. Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Blue
Whoa.
Sky.
Yeah, like the Flash template, like Flash.
Dude, I mean, so I get one of these websites and, I go from the Slideshow Video Company to Epic Creative Group, Epic Weddings to Epic Motion. And we got branded, but there's no way I could compare where I was at then and look back at, it's like a world of difference. The kind of clients I was working with, what I was charging, those years later, $5,000-$10,000 for a wedding film. I would have never dreamed I could have charged that much. My first wedding was $500. So I think what I'm just trying to encourage people, as you've thought about, I should launch a YouTube channel, or I should do legacy films, or I should get into corporate. Don't overthink it. Just do it. What a great phrase. Just do the thing and grow into it. Like when you get your first client or your first 10 clients, you start making money and you get some traction, then spend some serious coin on updating your website or making your marketing video, or whatever it is that you think it needs. But the most important thing is to stop delaying, get out of your head, and to just do the thing that you feel like you were designed to do, called to do, however you want to phrase that. But that's what you owe the world.
Ryan, I'm going to preach back at you. How many people are in your Sherpas community now? Like Facebook community, in the courses, like how many people listen?
Millions.
Yeah, seriously.
Some thousands. I mean, few thousand.
Ryan, do you remember from those thousands of people, do you remember in 2016 where we're sitting on the Wrightsville Beach, Wilmington, my home, and we've got 10 people have signed up to be in this group, this Sherpas group that we created. And we're like sitting in my conference room in my office, like, can you believe this? 10 people want to learn from us?
What a bunch of suckers.
Yeah, what a bunch of losers. But look at this now, man. Like if you hadn't listened, if we hadn't acted on that little gut feeling of like, man, we should do this.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, I guess we could fail, but look at you now. People have been inspired over all these years now. You can never quit, Ryan. You can't. You can't. You're going to let all these people down, man.
Moral of the story is Ryan can't quit. Yeah, no, thank you for that. And that is, I mean, a case in point. It's like you start with 1 and then you get 10 and it's like, holy crap, like there's some people that actually care and want to know. I got a Voxer from one of the people in our mastermind that just was I phrased the question, and nobody get the wrong idea here, but I as I'm looking at my life and trying to figure out what do I want the next chapter of my life to be, a question that has come up is like, do I continue running my video production business? And so I texted our mastermind group and I just said, hey, would you guys still be in my mastermind? Like still like be led by me if I didn't do video production full time? That's always been a struggle for me. I'm like, I don't want to be the guy that has this business, who's had this business for 20 years and then steps away and, okay, now I'm too old to do it. So now I'm just going to teach it, kind of thing. Like that bugs me. And I've heard people say that in the past. So I'm like, okay, I'm always going to do my video production business because I want to be, relevant, and I don't want to be called, people who teach can't do, or I don't know. There's some phrase around that. So I think that's been a fear. So I texted the group that, and everybody was so encouraging and like, no, dude, like you've cultivated this amazing community. Like we're in, like we're whatever you do. And somebody sent me a Voxer separate that just basically said in few words or less, you've changed my life. My business will never be the same. I've made so much money because of what you've built. And so anyway, it is crazy to think that like, wow, this thing that you and I dreamed up, and let's start a podcast. Let's do this thing. Let's make a course and trick people. I'm just kidding, not trick. I mean, but to think that, yeah, it's been helpful. It's done what I think we dreamed about in the best way that it could happen. It's done that. So I don't take that lightly. It's a huge gift. So
good.
Thanks.
Yeah, and you and I think the reason it works, the reason that people flock to the podcast, the reason that I still listen to it, the reason that I gain knowledge and wisdom from is because you're authentic. You have to be real in this industry. And for me, you and I
oh boy.
I don't know. I don't know how many people can say this about others, but I know exactly when you're pooping every day because I'll get a ton of memes. I'll get a ton of memes from you at the same time every day. So it means a lot that you think about me while you're pooping, man, because I'll get all these Instagram memes. But I say that because you and I can have that relationship, but I also respect you and value your opinion, and you do as well. You might be leading a mastermind group. You might be the host of this podcast, but I love that you still lean on other people, behind the scenes, asking their opinions, their insight for the challenges that you're going through. So I appreciated you asking us that because it makes you more human. If we just joked all the time, that would kind of get old. So I love that you know me deeply, you know me well enough to be able to tell me the truth sometimes, and that hurts a lot. And so I appreciate the community that you've fostered that has changed my life too, man. Like I'm with them. Whoever said that is absolutely right. So keep it up, dude.
That's cool. Thank you.
Are you gonna cry? Are you crying?
No, definitely not.
There's no crying.
Okay, we have to wind down. I want people to know where they can follow. Where should they follow along with the Matt Davis journey of the things?
Yeah. We're because of the timing of the season of the year, Mother's Day and Father's Day, we're launching finally soon, and so we're going to keep my legacy films on my wedding site for now. Again, going back to your advice and ever others, no separate brand or anything, but lifestagefilms.com/legacy will be where the new landing page is for my legacy films, and it by the time people are listening, it will be finished, of course, and out there in the public. Beautiful samples, beautiful commercial that I feel like I've made. Like you mentioned earlier, I love making a promo for, I love making a good promo, man. And so this one pulls on the heartstrings. So I definitely want people to flock to that and see if it resonates with them. Lifestagefilms.com/legacy, Lifestage Films on Instagram, at Lifestage Films. And then I don't mind people following my personal journey on my personal Instagram. I share a lot of my struggles, my excitement, my journeys, my traveling. And so that's matt.c.davis at Instagram. I don't know why I put that at the end.
I remember one of the very first, it might have been, I don't remember which show I was doing. It could have been this podcast, but one of the guys that worked for me was like, dude, you said, what was it? Like, follow me at Ryan Coral. Shoot, what did I say? Like, I added like a .com, and it was definitely not like a .com type of thing. Okay, yeah, I digress. Thank you for being patient as you listen to Matt and I just laugh about things that are just ridiculous. I do want to end with like a lightning round of questions. Are you good? I didn't prepare you for this. I don't do this on the show hardly ever, but this is fun, and I thought I could do it with you. So
yeah,
here we go.
Sure.
Are you ready?
I am.
Also, if you know Matt, he does have a gift of, you can say a movie and he knows the year that it came out. Goonies.
Wait, what?
Goonies, the movie Goonies.
1985.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption or Interstellar.
Ooh, okay. Favorite business book?
The E-Myth Revisited. It's always been it's always been a staple for me. Yeah.
Favorite book that's not business?
Wild at Heart by John Eldridge.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Oldie but a goodie. Favorite Instagram channel? Is that how you say that? Channel? Favorite Instagram?
Oh man, there's this guy I follow, Olima Omega or something, and he makes fun of all these Instagram influencers that like he follows along as if he's the camera guy. So he does the opposite scenario of like the cringeworthy clips that we see on Instagram. He does the opposite clip of what he would be doing as the filmmaker filming it. It's hilarious.
It's like, what's our boy's name? That the one who makes fun of the super like influencer type people, rapping for, I can't never think of his handle. But
I don't know. Oh yeah, rapping. Oh gosh,
he's like,
he's my second.
Buy my
favorite
course for.
Oh my god,
he's so fun.
You got to put the link to that guy in the notes for this. That's worth people following.
Okay. Yeah. Favorite wedding filmmaker?
Oh gosh, my favorite's always been 31 Films. Joey Matthews out in Texas, Houston, I think. Him and Aaron started when we did, and they're just killing it. They've always done authentic, great stuff, and they're good people.
Amazing.
So yeah.
I'd go. That's a solid answer. Also, Jason McBonwa.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Jason too. Sorry, 31 Films. Yeah. It's Jason for me.
Best advice someone's given you?
Best advice. I mean, this too will pass. Everything's temporary. That we think these things that are happening in our head are actually going to happen, and we worry so much, and cause so much anxiety on ourselves that it's gonna pass. It's gonna be okay. And I don't know who said that to me, Mr. Rogers or Tom Hanks. I'm not sure.
And your favorite memory with me? With you?
No, favorite memory. I always revisit my time with my girls. Like my favorite season of life was when they were like from 8 to 12 years old. That will always be like a core foundational memory for me, because that was still the time where they were like, play with me, daddy. Let me sit on your lap, daddy. And that's not the case anymore. You know, I get it, life. They're teenagers now, but for me, taking them on trips, definitely Disney World. They don't even probably remember that anymore. But for me, that's like, I revisit that movie in my head a lot. So
beautiful. I love the dad that you strive to be.
Strive. Yeah. Love my girls.
All right, my friend.
Yep.
I did actually say favorite memory with me, but I didn't want to ruin the beautiful moment that came into. So we'll just it's probably like shoulder kisses or something like that.
I do have a lot of favorite memories with you, but my favorite with to be very honest, we've traveled the world, we've spoken at places, we've
been all over,
we've gone places. But my favorite times with you are when I've gotten. This is going to sound really weird. The times that I've gotten to spend at your house, like when I've come to speak at a conference or a like a workshop, like at MIVA or something like that. The times that we get to sit around the fire or in the kitchen or grab a beer together out, outside or whatever. Those were my favorite times, like hanging out with a dude that I love, and we can rap back and forth, but also hold each other accountable. That's always been fun. So thank you.
Love that. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. You're the best. This is a gift for me and for if you don't watch this show, you're missing out. I mean, the great thumbs up, the butter. I got to figure out. I'm not going to smell this, but it's got to be a chunk of butter, right? Or chapstick maybe. But I haven't used chapstick here at this desk. I don't know. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. See you next time.
Love you, dude.
Thanks for watching, friend. Hope this episode was enjoyable. Hopefully it wasn't too ridiculous when I could not stop laughing. Yes, that was great. Reminder, Mastermind, go check it out. studiosherpas.com/mastermind. We are in the process of interviewing people right now, and this next Mastermind cohort will start very, very soon. So don't delay if this is something that you feel like you should be doing. I would love to hear if you had a takeaway or something from this episode that stood out. You can leave a comment on this video, or you can email me, ryan@studiosherpas.com. Would love to hear from you. And that's it, my friend. I am here rooting you on, cheering you on, hoping the best for you. And if there's anything I can do to serve you, please don't hesitate to reach out. That's it for now. I will see you on the next episode. Bye.